Rick Kuehner.
Yep.
His son was attacked viciously by the Gilbert Goons, and Rick had to move his son to Europe to live with his mom because Rick thought the Gilbert Goons would end up killing his son. We got news earlier that one of the kids involved in beating his son will not be charged. I don't understand it.
Nope.
I don't get it. I don't know what the police are doing out there. But joining us now, as promised, is Rick Kuehner on KTAR. Rick, I know that you're furious. I guess my first question is, you got the call from the police on Thursday. I mean, you got to be going out of your mind about this.
Yeah. Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on. Can you hear me okay?
Loud
Yes,
and
sir.
clear.
Yeah. I apologize in advance. I'm a mixed bag of emotions right now because I'm just in shock when I got this news on Thursday that this kid's not going to be charged. Everything got dismissed, and I'm like, this is the instigator. This is the orchestrator. This is the kid that was threatening him at school. This is the kid that I thought I was doing all the right things. I'm going to the school. I'm giving them a heads up. I'm letting them know, hey, I'm pleading with you. Here's my phone number. Give my phone number to this kid's parents, and let's sit down like adults and figure out what's going on. Nothing. Heard nothing. Honestly, guys, I don't even know if the school even called these people. I don't know. I mean, hopefully we can figure that out through discovery and stuff. But, had that happen, we wouldn't even be talking today. And then I go, my son gets attacked. I go to the police. I'm reaching out to everybody I think I'm supposed to, every entity that I'm supposed to reach out to. I'm trying to do the right thing. My son's trying to do the right thing. And I get every corner I go around, I get slapped in the face. And now there's a victim, my son. I can't even tell him this. I don't have the nerve to call my son and tell him that this kid's walking free. Not even a slap on the wrist. And he's probably going to go walk around school with his little smirk, thinking he's cool and stuff like that. And my son is overseas in a country he doesn't even speak the language, and this is the justice that we get. I can't understand this.
Mr. Kuehner, I can hear the frustration and the anger in your voice. And it appears to us, and again, I'm on the outside, and I do want to understand more about this. The kid at the center of this, he's the one who videotaped the attack. Is that correct?
Yeah, they got the video from him the night of that. So yeah, and he was involved in it. He was in the video.
Right, he's in the video, and he pointed himself out in the video, but he was there and part of it. But their argument is, I'm not trying to make excuses. Their argument is, in the video, he doesn't appear to hit your son. Is there any other corroborating evidence? Is there any other witnesses that put him as an assailant?
That's the $1 million question. In the video, you can see him rearing his hand back like he's ready to do it, but then the video stops conveniently. And I got to believe there's other video or other angles out there. But here's the thing. If you look at the law, 13-1203 on assault, Section 2A, it clearly says assault doesn't require hitting somebody. And I was told by the police, because it was a group, it wasn't one-on-one, it was a group of them, anyone that was in there participating would be charged.
Okay.
And so there's some gray areas there. I get what that point is, but that doesn't take away from what the actual law says.
Right. I'm just trying to understand, sir. I hope you understand where I'm coming from.
No, I do. Look, I'm a reasonable person. I want to understand everything, but I found out too, and I didn't know this. The Bank of America right there has cameras right in front of there, and they weren't working.
They weren't working? Of course.
No, that's what I found out. So, and you're talking about a Bank of America that's in the parking lot, that shares the parking lot with In-N-Out, who's made over 200 calls in the last year to the police about violence. You would think, first of all, that a bank would have the cameras, but even after that kind of call volume, that they would have got that fixed. So there's so many inconsistencies, so many things that have been failures on so many different levels here. But at the end of the day, this community needs to know that this kid's, walking away, and who knows what he's going to do? Who knows if he's going to attack somebody again? Who knows if kids feel comfortable even knowing that they're in class with them or whatever?
Right.
It's just ridiculous.
Rick Kuehner is joining us on KTAR. His son was attacked by the Gilbert Goons. He had to move his son to another out of America to another country because he thought his son would be killed by the Goons. And today, one person who was involved in it, they got him on video. The cops let him go. Okay, Rick, let's talk about this. Do you think something's fishy is going on? You've got a lawsuit out against, the school district. You've been outspoken when it comes to the police chief, the mayor, the parents who may have known that kids were beating up other kids. Do you think that they're trying to pay you back and say, listen, this guy's been a little bit too loud, so we're going to try and shut him up by letting this kid go, even though we know this kid is involved in beating up his son? Is there anything to that?
I wouldn't put any, to be honest with you, in today's world and society, I wouldn't put anything past that. It's, who knows? It's possible.
What about the fact that this kid is the stepson of an elementary school principal
in the same district?
Yeah. Definitely very suspicious, right?
It sounds fishy. I mean, there's no other ways to put it. That the kid with a stepmom, a mom and stepmom, who's the principal down the street from the high school, is the kid that's going to walk.
Right.
And I know, looking through some of the affidavit, Mr. Kuehner, the interview that detectives did with the parents and the kid, I thought really stood out in a bad way. They basically, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm paraphrasing. They told detectives that their son wasn't going to cooperate, wasn't going to name names.
That's correct. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Because the mother stopped, and from my understanding is the husband was going to identify, and then she stepped in and said, "No, we're not." And it's just and some of the things they said just were ridiculous. I couldn't believe it. So there's something definitely not right going on here, and it's not just there. It's between the school district, the police. Something's just not right. Something's not passing the smell test.
No.
And we're going to figure it out. This kid's not squeaky clean. Trust me, he's got a past, and not a good past. And and this isn't his only threat that he's had either.
Yeah.
So,
hey Rick, do you have a couple minutes? Can you hold through the news, because we got a couple more questions? Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's put Rick on hold for a moment. All right, so Rick will join us on the other side. Rick Kuehner, his son beaten by the Gilbert Goons, and the police said, well, there's what looks like the ringleader of this thing in a video. We're just going to let him go, though. He apparently is completely innocent, and Rick got that phone call on Thursday, and as you can tell, Bruce, he doesn't even want to tell his son who's in Europe, because imagine the reaction.
Yeah, it is. This story just keeps getting worse. I keep waiting for the story to get better. You know what I'm saying? It just keeps getting worse. It's unbelievable, and it's unbelievable to a lot of people. Shocking news coming out of Gilbert, out of Chandler, as we learn more about the Gilbert Goons. And maybe the most surprising part is who's not going to be prosecuted, who's not going to face consequences for their actions. Joining us, though, sticking around, and thank you so much for your time today, is Rick Kuehner. And Rick is the father of a young man, a teenager, who was viciously attacked by the Gilbert Goons at an In-N-Out hamburger parking lot, and just found out yesterday that one of the assailants, one of the people there, one of the ringleaders, one of the people threatening his son, will not face any charges.
So, Rick, when you got the phone call Thursday they didn't give you a whole lot of details. But when the detective contacted you and you hung up, what did you do?
Well, literally my stomach just turned and dropped, and I had to take a breath and sit down because I was in shock. I couldn't believe what I was hearing because, this detective is the one that, organized the case and even said himself this kid was arrested because we found that he did orchestrate this whole thing, and we have him on video and this, and I'm like thinking this is a slam dunk, but and then to hear that news, I didn't even know what to say. So I called the prosecutor at the attorney's office, or at the county Maricopa County's office, because I had to hear it from her, and I just couldn't believe it. And I asked, hey, can I appeal? Is there something I can do? This can't be right. I said, this is why these kids continue to do this stuff, because they don't suffer any consequences for their actions. So they think it's okay. They think it's cool. They get off and they just keep doing this stuff. And that's the problem, not just here, but across the country that we have. There's no accountability. There's no consequences for these kids. And they think they can continue to do it. And this is why we continue to have these problems throughout the country. And it's got to stop. And we as parents, people of the community, we got to stand up to this. And we got to make change. And we got to make change that's going to stick and get this damn country back in order and have some decency and integrity and pride, back in our communities. It's just frustrating. And again, I apologize. My emotions are all over the place, so I can't articulate very well, but
I think you're doing fine.
Yeah. You don't need to apologize.
I think you're doing just fine. Yeah.
Listen, he's a father. He's understandably upset, disappointed. He's Rick Kuehner. He's with us right now. Can you speak at all about the lawsuit? And I know that you have the number I hear, Bandy, a $6 million lawsuit naming a bunch of people. You talk about making things right. Is that what's behind the lawsuit?
It's complicated. The thing too we keep finding out more information, and like you said, you can't make this stuff up. Almost every day there's some kind of news nugget that comes out that's just like, wow. So we're just compiling all that together, but there was a lot of incompetency, and I think unfortunately, the only way to get accountability sometimes is through a civil action. Mm-hmm. And that's what our goal is, to accomplish some positive change in our school district. If you know or don't know, Arizona ranks worst in the entire country for public schools. Yeah. Well, that doesn't surprise me. So we can't fix that until we fix it in the bureaucracy and the people that are in charge. We got to change that and get the right people in there, or it's just going to be the same thing every year.
Well, dare I say, a safe place for kids to go to school, right? If that's got to start with that, you would think. Rick, thank you very much for your time. I got to believe that it's not just us, but there's plenty of other people out there. There's plenty of other parents out there that are with you, that are feeling your pain, your frustration. They can't believe
you're not alone.
How this case is unfolded, and how it appears that some of the ringleaders and some of the bad actors in this might walk free for reasons that are not clear to anybody. But please know that we're there with you, and we'll continue to talk to you. And as more things happen with this, we hope to have a chance to maybe talk about some better things as it's moving forward in a positive way.
Well, I appreciate your time, guys. You guys are the best, and we'll keep you posted on any new developments.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thanks, Rick.
He's Rick Kuehner. His son viciously attacked by the Gilbert Goons, and he learned yesterday that one of the ringleaders is not going to be prosecuted. Is it because his mother is a principal in the school district? Here's something weird. Yesterday, that kid, one of the ringleaders.
The one that was let off the hook today?
Yeah. on Snapchat.
Yeah, did you see that?
Posted, "It'll all be over soon."
Yours is coming, my friend.
Yeah, but he knew.
Yeah.
He knew so. He knew he wasn't going to face consequences. He knew he was going to walk away scot-free, at least for now.
I don't know how much more Rick can take, honestly. I mean, just think about it. If that is your kid who was beaten, that's bad enough. But then you go down the road of the school dropped the ball, never called you back. You reached out to the police chief in Gilbert. He never called you back. You handed the police evidence. And now they've taken it and said, meh, we're going to let the kid go. Yeah, the kid that was egging everybody on to beat your son is going to be walking around. I know how upset I am. And that's not my son. If it was my son or daughter, I don't know, man. I might be in a jumpsuit. I might be in an orange jumpsuit. And Rick is a man of faith, and he is a good man, and he's trying. We talked about that.
He's trying to do the right way, do all the right things.
And he is getting stopped at every single door that he tries to walk through, and it's unfair.